my goal today is to do a protein, a grain, and then a veggie. Mrs. Meyer specifically, I started when I was first starting to move away from household cleaners that I grew up with, and this was my idea of very natural. There's a website called EWG. They'll rate different products and give it like a grading for their toxicity level. So for me, I am trying to stay low tox. I'm not completely non-tox. Part of my seasonal reset, I'm going to be doing my weekly skincare routine. I'd be lying if I say I've been getting this done every week. I used to do my weekly skincare reset on Sundays, but with the 3-year-old, the weekends have been sort of busy and I can easily just close my laptop after work and do my routine. Usually every Friday I grab a pizza and bring it home, but I wanted to make it today a little more engaged. Okay, so we set up all the smoke alarms. I'm about to take the pizza out of the oven now. So today is part of my spring reset. We're going to be doing one of my favorite things to do, which is spring shopping. Hey, it's Milo. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm a full-time working mom with a 3-year-old, and on this channel, I like to talk about all things design, specifically focusing on the home, how that impacts our well-being, and just different things we can do daily. If Dad's in the way. If that all sounds good to you, please make sure to like and subscribe. I release videos every Sunday. So, I am starting my 30-day seasonal reset for the spring. I like to do a seasonal reset whenever the seasons change. It's a great way to start new habits and routines and just to really embrace the weather. So today's goal is to meal prep dinner. Yesterday I went through my life categories and I set my goals for March, and one of them was to meal prep for dinner, and it's also a good way to reset. Meal prepping is extremely helpful because it makes days a little less busy and it frees up time. And dinner is one of those things that traditionally I never really ate. However, it's definitely something that I'm trying to do now because I'm trying to find balance with my meals, make sure I'm watching my carbs. So that's steadier meals throughout the day, which includes dinner. Right now it's about 6:30, so this is probably when I would actually eat dinner, right before I start winding down and getting the 3-year-old ready to go to bed. I've been doing like a vegan, vegetarian-ish diet, so my goal today is to do a protein, a grain, and then a veggie. So I'm mostly going to have the same items and try to switch up the flavors a little bit so I can make it easier and not so straining. So here's what we have. Since it's Monday night, I put my food for tonight's dinner here. And then the rest of the food, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Is here. We usually do pizza night on Friday, so I'll probably end up eating one of these for lunch. But I did try to do minimal dishes, so I would have minimal cleanup, and then I use different sauces to just kind of get different flavors, but with similar ingredients. And I will see how the flavor is on these and see what it's looking like, but definitely keeping it simple and just trying to make things a little bit easier. So here is basically all of the products that I'm currently using to clean. Some of these products I'm more recently using, and then some of the products I have kind of just always used forever. Mrs. Meyer specifically, I started when I was first starting to move away from some of the household cleaners that I grew up with, and this was my idea of very natural. On the back it says made with plant-derived cleaning ingredients, essential oil, aloe vera extract, glycerin, and olive oil, made without parabens and phthalates, MEA and DEA, artificial colors. So on the surface it seems good, but I know sometimes Mrs. Meyer's gets some pushback. There's a website called EWG that tests a lot of products, and they'll rate different products and give it like a grading for their toxicity level. So they have an app now, and supposedly you can scan a barcode and it'll bring up the product if they do have a review for that product. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So I'm gonna grab my phone and I'm gonna check the rating for the different products now. So the app is called Healthy Living, and they have this feature where you should be able to scan a product's barcode for instant health data, ensure the barcode is clearly visible within the scan boundaries for quick results. Okay, so let's try with our first product and see. I saw mixed reviews about this working, so we couldn't match that barcode. Let's try again. No, this barcode is not working, but I know for sure that I found Molly Suds on this website before, so let's see if we can find it. Yeah, so here it is. So Molly Suds laundry powder, and I think this is just for the basic one. This one is the Sports Fresh, but I also looked at the ingredients and I don't really see anything concerning that's usually listed on this website, and they have an A grade rating. So this is the detergent that we use for all of our household. I usually add a little bit more than what's recommended. I add like, what did that man do with my scoop? So the man may or may not have lost my scoop. So anyway, this comes with a little scoop, and I usually do add more than what they recommend, especially for the man, because his clothes tend to be need a little extra TLC. For the 3-year-old, I just do whatever is recommended because her clothes don't really get that dirty. So I actually do really like this product. I like this scent. I've tried some of their other scents, but this one has been kind of my favorite. And I prefer the powder over the liquid. For some reason, it seems to last longer, and it also seems to just be a little bit easier than the liquid. Next up, we have Method Glass Cleaner, another one of my traditional go-tos. Let's see if the barcode works for this. Oh, and it did come up. It came up with a B rating, which I'm not mad at. It still has a little green circle, so we're okay with that for right now. So I will most likely continue to use this glass cleaner. BioClean is another one that, and this, you can see this is like all empty, but this is another one that I sourced out later on, and it should be really good. The last time I checked, yep, it also has a B rating, and it's one of the stronger ones as far as like all natural cleaning goes. In the reviews, someone mentioned using it on their husband's shirt that had like gasoline or something on it, and it got the smell out. I use this on my wool carpet, and that carpet has its own issues, but it's a carpet stain and odor remover. It says not recommended for velvet, silk, wool, linen, suede, or leather. Well, yeah, so maybe that's why I didn't buy any more of this. I definitely did use this on my wool carpet though, I'm not gonna lie, but it didn't leave a stain. I've also used this for my wool carpet. I just mix it with some water and make like a little solution. So let's see. Next up we have Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day Multi-Surface Concentrate. So this concentrate, I just mix it with water and I put it in one of my reusable spray bottles. So I do use this cleaner quite frequently. I use it for floors, counters. It's an all-purpose cleaner, so I pretty much use this for everything. Let me see if I can find it. So it can't find it, but it does say that you can add this product. Let's see if we can add the product. So I'm gonna see if I can find another concentrate on here for Mrs. Meyer's. Oh, yes, here they all are. And they have a D rating, and I'm pretty sure I know why. So if we look at their rating, they do have a lot of C and D ratings for this product. For the D rating, they have PG5 meth, something that I can't pronounce. So they tell you what it is. Widely used preservative associated with allergic reactions. I mean, a D rating is pretty low. I would probably do a B, maybe even a C, but sometimes with these products you kind of have to like pick and choose what hazards you're gonna have in your home. So for me, I am trying to stay low tox. I'm not completely non-tox, and I'm also not crazy to the point where everything has to be non-tox. I do mix and match here and there. Like, I'm trying to the best of my ability, and I also consider things like how much it's impacting the 3-year-old and the surfaces that she comes in contact with the most. So for something like this that I'm using so widely and pretty much everywhere, I will probably try to find a cleaner with a better solution. I do know there's natural ways to do that, like a vinegar, baking soda, lemon mix is like the most, you know, popular with essential oils. So I might try that. I'm not crazy about the vinegar, and I don't know if the essential oils can completely max the scent of it. And it's very easy to just buy a bottle of something when I can. So I'm gonna definitely look into options for that. So next up we have Mrs. Meyer's again, hand soap refill. So this has a rating of a 3, which I'm not married to these refills. They are really easy because I can just grab 2 big things of these and then I just refill soap as needed. But I can also look into other options on the market. And this is something that's actually being applied directly to the skin, so something like that I would probably be more likely to replace that. Okay, so let's check dish soap. Just looking at 2 of the other scents that they have on here, it's a D rating, which is also not good because we are using this to clean our dishes, and that's something that can be ingested because of the residue that's left behind. So another option to explore, and let's check our next product, which is this Pet Fresh Arm & Hammer Odor Eliminator. I was checking out the ingredients and I did see fragrance. We know that fragrance is not good. It smells so good. That fragrance smell good. So they do have the odor eliminator for carpet. If I look at the ingredients listed on here, this is fragrance as a high hazard. So once again, fragrance, when I do use like fragrances, like personally on myself, I try not to spray it on my skin. I try to just spray it on my clothes. You might argue that if you spray it on your clothes, it still could get like touch your skin and absorb it that way. But then once again, we pick and choose. This is something that I probably would use maybe like once a week. So do we walk barefoot on the carpet? Yes, we do. Is the 3-year-old playing around on the carpet? Yes, she is. But when we put this down and vacuum it up, but then you're also breathing it into your lungs. So that's something that I might actually swap out. Just their regular baking soda is okay. I would actually venture to check out if they have another product that uses essential oils perhaps. I don't know if that may be difficult for a baking soda product, but I do like the scent of this. So the last product are these Mr. Clean Magic Erasers. Surprise, surprise. Oh my. The kitchen scrubber got an F. What the heck is in the kitchen scrubber? It's PEG, PPG, propylheptyl ether. Rinse polyethylene colorant. What is a colorant? Oh, there's lots of stuff in here. Rinse required for surfaces in direct contact with food. Okay, so this has a really bad rating, and I am using this on the walls. These work wonders when getting like crayons, markers. It's like all the different things that the 3-year-old has gotten all over the walls. I am wondering if I will discontinue use of this because I don't know any type of replacement for this right now, and this is extremely helpful. So I think that I'm going to look into what could be a good replacement for this. If I can't find a good replacement for this, I'm probably still going to use it because I don't know what else to do. Is this basically like bleached? So these are all of the cleaners that I am currently using. Some good, some with options to swap for better opportunities. I will probably finish using like the remainder of what I have because I already bought it. We've already been using it, so it is what it is. But for the next time around, I'm definitely going to look into products that might be a little bit better for a healthy home. And now it's time to go clean.
Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi. Oh.
So today, as part of my seasonal reset, I'm going to be doing my weekly skincare routine, which is just a bit different from my daily routine. And honestly, I'd be lying if I say I've been getting this done every week because my night routine has been a struggle. And I used to do my weekly skincare reset on Sundays, but with the 3-year-old, the weekends have been sort of busy, so it's kind of hard to do that. So I decided that a random day during the week when I'm working from home and I can easily just close my laptop after work and do my routine, I feel like that's going to be a lot easier and manageable for me than trying to pack everything into my Sundays. So here we are. So as far as seasonal goes, this winter has been pretty rough. We've had some really cold days and it's wreaked havoc on my skin. I have like combination-ish skin, but my skin in general, it typically moves more towards dry. So I definitely wanted to incorporate more moisture for my weekly reset to kind of recover from all of the cold weather, and especially because I do tend to keep my daily skincare routine pretty simple. So at least once a week, I want to incorporate at least more moisture and some type of repair for my skin. Face wash, I have always kept it fairly simple, and I've been using the Ordinary's cream cleanser, which cream better for drier skin. Next up, we have this Chill oil blend, which is really nice if you're looking for a retinol alternative. Then I have this Bakuchill oil blend, which I've been liking. Baku, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've been liking this ingredient a lot, and this works wonders for dry skin. Oh, I forgot my toner. I started using this toner maybe a few weeks ago now, and so far so good. I really like it. It seems to be good with maintaining my moisture barrier. It seems to be working really well for me. And then I also have a vitamin C complex. I definitely wanted to make sure I was incorporating vitamin C for hydration and to keep my skin nice and supple. So for my moisturizers, I go back and forth between this bean cream has become like one of my favorites. It has this really thick sort of sticky consistency to it, and I really like that. And I just started trying this Pyongyangul, I believe it's pronounced, which has like a lighter texture to it. So typically I'm using this during the day, and then I'm using the thicker cream at night. Those are all of my main products for my weekly routine. I'm going to incorporate 2 different masks and also a steamer. Let this run until it's finished. Next, I like to do my Indian healing clay mask. I've pretty much been using this for forever. I do enjoy the tightening sensation. I try to leave it on for less time. It says let it dry for 5 to 10 minutes, but I usually don't do any more than 5 minutes. I left it on longer once. Felt like it was too hard and it was too red when I went to go take it off. And then I usually just mix this with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. So I think there are mixed opinions about masks like these, but I personally love them, and hyaluronic acid also works wonders for my skin, especially having dry skin. So I'm using this to help repair some of the damage that the winter has inflicted on my skin and just have a little extra boost of moisture. For today's spring reset, I am going to be doing a little twist on our typical pizza night. Usually every Friday I grab a pizza and bring it home, but I wanted to make pizza night a little more engaged. The 3-year-old also loves helping in the kitchen, and she also likes to do activities, so this is like another activity for her. So we're turning pizza night into another engaged, intentional activity. No, I just cleaned this counter. Keep your butt off of it. So I've never actually done this before, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. I kind of have a rough idea, so we're just gonna see if we can swing it and figure it out. Okay, so we set up all the smoke alarms. I'm about to take the pizza out of the oven now. The smoke alarms have been going crazy. So today is part of my spring reset. We're going to be doing one of my favorite things to do, which is spring shopping. And right now we're at TJ Maxx. Hopefully they have some good finds in here. We'll see. I do try to do something small and I try not to go crazy. And I try to add a little spring touch to each one of my spaces in my home. So kitchen, dining, living, probably the master and the downstairs bathroom. So we'll see what they have and see what I can find.